to say thanks again for all of you who have shown up, to all the musicians and others who came up and shared stories and songs. Remind you once again that we have been asking for donations for 3S Art Space, so if you haven't and feel generous enough, please slip some money to my buddy Chris. And just let me, for those who I got to get this off my chest. 10 years ago today, what was it like? It was a Thursday, and I was getting my orders in. I picked up my liquor order and was in the middle of inventorying my order, going up and down the stairs, into the basement, up, doing things. My beer orders were coming in, all this. It's late morning, beautiful September day, bright sunshine, just a really nice day. And there was a bust going on down in the center of town. There was a head shop that was down near where Jay Shandling has his gallery now, if I remember correctly. And it had only been there a couple of months, and it turns out, well, they were doing things that they shouldn't have been doing out of that. So all morning you're hearing sirens, because there is like the state police, the local police, the sheriff's department, and whoever else, feds, whoever. So you're just hearing sirens, sirens, sirens all morning. So I come upstairs, and all of a sudden I hear a siren, but it's coming from Sheaf Street. And I was just like, ooh, that's not good. And I walk out into the back alley, and Lynn Schultz, a good friend of mine who still works at Ceres Bakery, Lynn is in tears in the alley. And I'm like, what's up? And she goes, somebody just had a heart attack on Sheaf Street. I'm not sure who, but somebody just had a heart attack. And I hear the telephone ringing in here, and I come running back in, and Jay Gardner, the current owner, was here on the third floor, and he had picked up the phone. And moments later, he comes running down the stairs. And he goes, that's Bob Moranis on the phone. Jay just collapsed and was just hauled off to the hospital. Bob is on his way to the hospital, and he's going to call when he knows something. And of course, 20 minutes later, we got the call that Jay was dead before he hit the ground. A few hours went by, and Larry Garland came by. And if you know Larry at all, he came up to me and goes, Bruce, I think I'm the guy who killed Jay Smith. And I'm like, what? And he goes, if you knew Jay, I mean, he was renovating a building. They had just opened up Jack Quigley's, I believe it by that point. And on the second floor, there was work to be done. And Jay was hauling sheetrock up and down. And Larry happened to be driving by and see this, stops and yells at Jay, "You got enough money? You can hire somebody to do that." And Larry's like, that's the last thing I said to Jay, man. Within 5 minutes, from what I understand, he dropped dead. And then another hour or so, there was a mutual friend, actually, who happened to be standing there talking with Jay, and he came by, and he said, just said, yeah, Jay was doing some work, and I happened to see him, and we're just standing there talking, and all of a sudden, he just collapsed. And my friend said, I knew right then that he was dead by the time he hit the ground. And we did get the report later that said that. So, of course, I've been thinking about all this stuff, seeing as how it's the 10th anniversary and all. And this morning I get up, and it's raining, it's pouring out when I wake up. And I was chuckling to myself, going, Jesus, it wasn't like this 10 years ago. It's a really nice day. I come into town, and it's still cloudy and all. And right near the actual time of Jay's death, I go over to the bank to make a deposit, and the sun comes out, and all of a sudden we go into that day again. The sun, everything was just as I remember when I walked out into the back alley 10 years ago. And I definitely had to look up, and I'm like, all right, brother, yeah, okay. Remember that will you never rewrote, you bastard. But anyways, Jay meant a lot to all of us here. And again, I'd like to thank you all for coming. I'd like to thank my staff here, once again, for putting up with me. And for all these years, oh my God. And I'll just close out as I did at the music hall and just tell you all that, believe it or not, I actually do love all you guys. You know, I'm sure there's a few people out there going, yeah, right, pal. If Smith was here, he would tell you. He used to make jokes with people who would, when I would bartend, and people would try to get me to smile. Yes, Lori, you witnessed this many times. And somebody would complain to Jay, because they knew he was the owner, and said, yeah, why doesn't the guy smile? And Jay would go, you have to understand, Bruce's reality bar. That's what I call him. So if he's having a bad day, you know it. So he's not going to paste on a fake smile for you or anybody else. But he's courteous. He does his job well. You got the drink you asked for and your correct change. And the person's like, I guess you're right. But I do love you all very much. And I told Smith many moons ago that I would keep this place up and running as close to his original idea for as long as I physically could. And I'm still holding to that. And if there's anything that we can take away from all of this and knowing Jay and all the rest is to remember when you can to help your neighbors, your friends, support your community, and support the arts in any way you can. Shall I? Yeah, maybe I will. I did end on this note the last time. Just a short little piece from an old traditional song that's a favorite of mine. And I send this out, kind of a bit of a benediction to everyone. Oh, death in the morning. Oh, death, carry us over another year. See you all again real soon, and thanks.